Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So here we are. It has been a few days, but it's good to be back. How you doing there, Tobias? Hello there, Monkey. Hello there, Pirate. I have the I have the microphone on mute when I'm getting set up. I've still got just one more thing to do. Just going to post the actual video link to YouTube, and then we'll get going here in just a moment. I do hope you're all well. I hope you're all well and rested. I don't think it's gonna take us a huge amount of time this time. This stream round, really. We do have a general idea of what we need to be doing. We don't have tremendously risky operations in effect at the moment, which is quite nice. It means we do have some leeway to get things ready in terms of actually getting the logistics set up, which is good news. But we'll get going here shortly. There we go, tremendous. How you doing there, Hildebrand? Good to have you, my friend. Good to see you again. I'll see you in 2 minutes after I said my mandatory Twitch. I love it. That's great. Okay, I'll get this off. I'll reveal the desktop of Doom. Right, so we'll go ahead. Get the game going there. We do know really what we're about here. We know what we're doing. We are going to take a look, I think first we're going to take a look at the MKB and decide their path in there, really. Originally, I was considering actually heading, really just west, but I'm not too keen on the fact that we do have we do have reports indicating what might very well be warships. The fact that they are moving at 60 knots as a cruise speed. It's one of these. We can see that he's moving assets towards us. He's not afraid of sacrificing, so it's one of those things I don't want to get caught up in his own game there. You know what? You're more than welcome there, Tobias. Teach me the ways. How you doing there, J Street? Thank you very much there for the bits. It's pretty good so far. Pretty good. I mean, it's the first day I really had that's been free for last week. Obviously, the college and all that, but it's been awesome. Really good. Really busy times, but it'll be worthwhile. Thank you very much there, Pirate. NKB should go southwest, take Miss Brimes. Do you think Surface Warship scared the rulers of the skies? That would be Mothra. One more turn, just one more turn. He clearly arranged his nettops to represent... Yeah, exactly. The heavy bias to the left there as well. Yeah, that probably does represent UK politics there. Okay. What I'm going to do then is bring up a drawing tool. Now, we are aware of assets here. Well, we're aware of targets in the area. That's probably a better representation. Yeah, only the 5th of February 1942. I know, right? It's been a long while, hasn't it? Now, we don't really have detection over Carnarvon. I do have 1 out of 4, but that's not exactly exceptional. We do have a general idea of what was in there last turn. I think we saw about 4 ships or something of that nature. 3 ships over here moving northwest. We do see 4 ships over here, AM. No, I think we'd seen a AM last turn. It could actually be the AVP. I think it was the... Did we see the Pollux? We saw an AVP. I'm sure we saw something like an AVP. It was an AVP or an AM. It was something of that sort of nature. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something then of that nature. Now, if we take a look at the direction here. So, let's see. You're moving northwest. So you're moving out in this direction over here. What are you moving? Right, I don't have actual... So as to where this one is heading, I do not know. I can assume it's probably heading... It's either headed to Carnarvon or it's heading out this way. Though, in fairness, this was roughly... Our position wasn't too different from here last turn, so we might have actually sent it here during the actual turn to try and actually hit us. Obviously, we did move out this way west, which was good. I think it was a good move. It does seem as if there's supposedly a force about there and supposedly a force about here, judging from our operational reports. How you doing there, Felix? Good to have you, my man. So, I think these ones we don't really have to bother with too much. We do have a decent bit of distance between us and them. He did... I mean... See, now, it's not showing detection of the MKB at the moment, but before I did combine them, there was 2 out of 10 detection over 1 element of the MKB. So, I'm not entirely certain. I think he will have some idea of what we are doing here, or at least what we do have here. How you doing there, Carl? Hello there, Mark. Hello there. Oh, thank you very much there, Monkey. That's appreciated, my man. Hello there, Kovican. It's good to have you, my man. Indeed, Tenno Heika Banzai. So, can we have a Banzai here for the Nihon Kaikoku Kaigen? I think that's it. I've started reading Kaigen. And I need to finish Kaigen. I've started reading Kaigen. I was going to read Implacable Foes, but I thought, well, if I actually understand how the Japanese Navy functions and at least the actual distinction between the classes of ship in the Japanese Navy, then at least we could probably play the game to a significantly greater degree. Or more competent degree. So yeah, reading Kaigen at the moment. Noumea, I'll probably switch, but we'll see. So yeah, if we take a look. So, Operation Report now. So, B5N1K suspected submarine 42-136 near Carnarvon. So, 42-136. So, 42-136 about here then. So, there's suspected submarine over there, which is interesting. Maybe. But that's something to bear in mind. One allied ship at 40-132 near Carnarvon, speed 11 moving northwest. So that's 40-132. So 40-132, which is about here actually. So, supposedly there's one ship 40 nautical miles away from the MKB. Now, moving, was it northwest? So, I don't know whether, he can't have anticipated us moving out this way. Well, I suppose he could have anticipated this, but it's one of these he would have had to, it would be a lucky guess. He wasn't aware of the second half of the MKB as far as we were aware. How you doing there, Avad? Good to have you, my man. You should mine Kendari and punish him for sending subs there. Yeah, to be honest, I've been trying to mine Kendari. I'm not entirely sure what the reason is why I can't mine Kendari. And we'll double check that. It would be very, very good to get that mined, because he really is all about sending the submarines in there. Okay. But going back to this, I don't think he was aware of the second half of MKB. We did have MKB2 and we had MKB1 over here near Carnarvon. So, this could be... It could be him, obviously, let's say, going around here to head towards Perth. So, I don't know if he would have expected us to be here. It might just be luck, or it might be just it was some sort of convoy already in transit. But the fact that it's heading north, I'm not totally sure about that. Thank you very much there, J Street. Don't worry about that, Mark. It's a good question. It's a good question. How you doing there, Joe? Your last stream made me reinstall Hearthstone free. It'll go on sale soon enough. Soon enough it'll be on sale. But that's awesome, my dude. Okay. Thank you very much, man, for the bits, guys. Really appreciate it. So if we take a look over here, then, we are 7 hexes away from this force over here that is spotted. We can see here we're 10 hexes away from Carnarvon. We are 14 hexes here from Geraldton, which is good. And yeah, the thing is, it's like, I might do some more Hearthstone 3 in the future. The only reason why I don't do more Hearthstone 3 is the fact that it just crashes a lot. That's the only issue. Darkstar, I do need to do some more Darkstar. I do tend to go, I'm a bit like an alligator, or a bit like a crocodile. Like, there's these periods of long inactivity while gaining energy, and then you have like a sudden burst of energy, and that's basically how I play Darkstar. It's kind of how it works. Thank you very much for the bits, appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, we can see this AM over here. Now, it's only 4 ships, which makes me wonder. We did see the large force of, like, AMs and etc. That was, it was about there. Well, it was a little bit further down there. So, it looked as if, I don't know, they might be heading down this way. It's hard to say. So I think what we're going to do here, then, is how we're going to choose to approach the situation. Because we know, supposedly, there's one ship to the south, and we did see a failed strike. The B5M1s that were sent out, only 2 of them were sent out, but they failed to actually land the strike due to the weather. So we know there's something nearby as well. Supposedly 5 ships, and that's the thing that I'm a little bit worried about. Because of the fact that they're cruising at 16 knots. It might be destroyers, to be fair. It could be potentially cruisers. Something that's fairly quick. And when was the last time we saw his carriers? It has been a while. It might have been on the 10th of... was it the 10th of January? No, I think it was about the 10th of January, maybe like... The 10th to about, I don't know, maybe about the 18th of January, something of like that nature. In the first weeks of January was the last time we saw them. So it has been a while. We did supposedly have a sighting of a CV down here, but that definitely was a false sighting there. But this is what I'm taking a look at here. So, moving northwest. That's really interesting that they're moving northwest, though. And can you beat a service good with the mini Kilobatai? Oh, thank you very much there, Felix. Much appreciated, my man. Now, the MKB. It is armed with 2 heavy cruisers, which are very good heavy cruisers. The Japanese heavy cruisers are pretty damn good. And we do have about 7... maybe 7 fairly modern destroyers, pretty modern destroyers. So it is a large force, and he's not entirely aware of how large it is, which is good news. So if we're facing off against 5 ships, we should be able to screen the carriers. Well, you never want to get into a gunnery duel, do you, with carriers involved. But it's good to see that they're moving northwest. Now, last time I didn't actually take note of the fact that they were moving in the northwesterly direction, so that's interesting. It does make me wonder what they are, but it's something worth knowing about there. But we can see here. So 38130. So 38... yeah, 38130. So there's something here, and there's something about there. The good news is... well, maybe that is a convoy. That would be the best case scenario. If it was a convoy, that would be great. So I think it looks like our best path out of the area, because I think this is it. I'm not liking the fact that they're sending things against us, because the thing is I don't know exactly what else is in the area out here. That and... we do need to go refuel, we do need to go and rearm. There are British carriers in the Indian Ocean, we don't know where they are. I don't imagine they're anywhere nearby, but they could be on their way down here as we speak, so it's probably better just to take the troops that we do have, and then head back. We can always return to the area once we do have a full complement of torpedoes and fuel. Potentially even additional escorts as well could be quite good. How are you doing on pilot losses? In terms of like the total numbers, our pilot losses are inflated due to mistakes in the past. Oops, I'm like clicking and it's like I've still got the draw tool on. So we've had more losses than I would have really have preferred. Can I see like pilot losses? Where the mouse would that be? Where's it listed again? I forget where it listed now. Yeah, there we go. So we've had 401 dead, which is not good. They are inflated due to the fact that we did lose a lot of aircraft to mistakes, which is a shame. But it's not too bad. We can manage. We can manage. It's not what I would have preferred it to have been, but this is it. Learned experience and all that. But anyway, I think what we're going to do here then is I could potentially look to make some distance. I could potentially head east for maybe... well, the thing is, what we could potentially do is actually have it set to the south here to begin with, like 1 hex to the south, and just to give him the impression that we are heading south. Obviously, we'd be heading south about 40 nautical miles, but then we could set a waypoint to then head that way. Yeah, that's Navy and Army combined, I do believe. West, southwest. Yeah, but then again, we might just have to make for it. As long as we don't go basically straight. I'd love to go further south, but the thing is, it's one of these. How you doing, Van Anning? Good to have you, and welcome to the stream. We probably lost a few good pilots, but we do have a lot of good pilots in the training pool. Like, if we take a look at the actual training pool here, let's see, aircraft, right, pilots, pilot replacements. Yeah, if we take a look at our reserve pool, now with the help of Infinite and Major Problem 42 as well in the past, we have been, well, I've had help in organising the actual training program, which has been very welcome. So if we take a look at the actual training command, we do have some good pilots in here, we do have a good number of them. These guys are going to stay in here for the long haul, really. Or until we actually really need them on a operation that has to succeed. It might be that potentially if we do get into a circumstance where we are facing off against confirmed carriers, it might be that we actually bring these guys out. But then again, even then, is it actually worthwhile? Probably not. We do have good pilots, so it's probably a good idea to keep these guys. But yeah, you can see that we do have... let's see. 1,100 IJ pilots and 768 IGN pilots in the pool here, which is good news. Is it random and how long a wounded in action pilot takes return to action? You know, I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure on that one, actually. It's a good question, Ben. So I think what we're going to do here to begin with, then, is let's take a look. Now, we are set to low, which is good. See, the thing is, we have to take into consideration the fuel here. So if I was to set them to head towards Kopang, we'll see. But we might be able to pick up some convoys in the area as we make our way around here. But we'll see about that. So what I'm going to do here, then, is set waypoints. So I think what we'll do, then... I could set one to the southwest. Not southwest. Southeast. We do have enough fuel to get back. We do have enough. I think, do we set it there to actually give them the impression that we're heading south? Now, this suggests that it doesn't have detection over the task force. But the thing is that worries me is we did see detection over one element of the task force before we did merge them. So I don't quite believe that. I think he does have an idea that we are here. But I'll have them head southwest. Sorry, southeast. I keep saying southwest, don't I? And then what we'll do is we'll have them turn about. We could look towards heading this way. So if we take a look at that, a little bit further south actually. Last carrier was spotted on turn 34, 26 days ago. Yeah, it's been some time then. Okay, so what I'm thinking here then is they turn southeast to begin with, and then they'll head northeast. I'm looking to take a position here where we are some distance from the coastline here. I mean, if these are actual valid targets, that'd be quite good. We can always decide on this one. Oh, do not go south. I mean, I don't mind on that one. I'm just thinking about maybe giving the impression, but if he doesn't know where we are, it might be worthwhile going. So I think we'll just have it set straight that way then. So try that there then. Don't need that second one. So clear our waypoints. I suppose what we could do here then. I mean, this is it. We've got to figure out the path. He only sees your midpoint and endpoint. All that does is use fuel. Well, that's a fair point, actually. That is a fair point. What have we done with this other than disrupt him somewhat? Well, the fact is we have sank some things, which is worthwhile. It's one of those of, it's just making use of the Kitabatai. Of the mini Kitabatai. We might yet sink more. But the fact is, how you did that, Connor? But the fact is, this has disrupted the actual shipping lanes here significantly for him. Though, how significant that actually is, I'm not entirely certain. We'll see. So, I think what I might do here then is maybe we had, I don't know, I might head straight to begin with. Well, then again, it's one of these of do I just head straight, but I don't want to head just straight. But that isn't just straight, actually, as such. Though, I might just go for that then for the time being. We'll see. We do have a lot of time to decide on this one. I think what I'm going to do here then, so if we take a look at the actual aircraft aboard. So we do have the actual float planes. What I'm going to do here then is actually set some to night. I'll take the Makuma as well, so you can have them fly at night. Then I'll take the Chiyoda, this free. Though saying that, I might be alright with just the 4 there on night search. I suppose the thing is, it's not going to really particularly matter that much. I think just a few at night is enough. Just a few at night is probably enough. then that'd be fine. We've got the rest of them set to naval search 100%, which is quite good. So if we do pick up anything, at least they'll be able to potentially attack. So if I take a look then, so we do have our torpedo bombers. Now, what I could potentially do here is actually swap these torpedo bombers around in the actual carriers. So what we'll do here then is I'm going to make a save. So we'll make a backup save over here then. So before reorg. And I'm going to see about trying to reorganize the actual B5M1 Kate on the carriers, because some carriers are dry or nearly dry, whilst we do have some carriers that are pretty full, or at least have a lot in the way of sorties, so that's quite good. So we're going to try and reorganize it a little bit. Okay. Just make sure that's saved, so double check. But yeah, we'll take a look at this. It's always good to have a save in the turn as well. Okay. So if we take a look here then, let's see. So we have Ryu Zhou. She has only 14 sorties remaining. See, Zhu Hao has 195, which is very good here. The thing is, it's a bit difficult here due to the actual space aboard, so we are playing with tight confines. There's some sorties that are available here as well. So... Alright, Ryujo, Taiyo, and Hosho. This is the Taiyo. So I could fit 2 more aboard there. Right, the issue is you're not able to be moved as far as I'm aware, which kind of sucks. So I could only have you transferred to a docked ship. Shane, great. How long until you're actually ready, by the way? So you'll be ready tomorrow, supposedly. Zui Ho. The organization... Well, that's fair enough, actually. Well, the ones I wanted to move around, I can't move around anyway, but that's a good point made there. Infinite does point out that reorganization could actually disrupt strikes, so I think we'll stick with this then. That's fine. I think what I'm going to do, though, is actually have the amount of naval strike increase, actually. What do you guys reckon percentages then? I think I might go for 30% strike still. Sorry, 30% search still, and maybe just keep more for the actual strikes perhaps. But even then, it's one of these, isn't it? Our current settings aren't too bad. I might adjust them a little bit. I'm thinking maybe about 40%, but even then, maybe slightly, maybe a 20% change. Yeah, I don't want to change it too much. So I think we'll go for about 50% there, Surge. Just have a few more available. But even then, that's... In fact, I'm just going to go down to 60%. I mean, that does release a few more aircraft, but I don't want to waste all my sorties, really. Then, obviously, we can still hit targets even in search mode, so I think that is about fine. These guys are set to 60% combat air patrol, 20% rest, which only leaves about 20% available to go out there, which is pretty good, pretty fine. These guys could do with some fatigue. Well, some rest, actually. They're not terribly bad, but... I'll go for 2080. Though saying that, well, this is the thing. It's like, I'd rather have just one class of aircraft. Might as well just keep the actual A5M4s for just protection of the carriers. Which I might have them lower their altitude. If they're just going to be in that role, so I'll have them down to about 10,000 feet. I think beyond that, there's not a terribly large amount that we can do there to just augment our chances. But yeah, we're going to get the hell out of the area. We might yet strike more on the way back, we'll see. We do not know. Low threat threshold, they're direct. And they're heading to Kopang. I'm going to set their home base to Kopang as well, which it already is. Well done past me, you've done a good job. So that works. And this is it. So, when did we last spot them? So, turn 34, we're on like turn 60. Yeah, we're on turn 60 now, I believe it is. So it's one of those things. I don't think the USN carriers could be down here. I don't think they would be. Units that transfer between bases ships are less likely to fire missions. Yep, that's true. I think you are right about that one. So when we invaded Madagascar, you're assuming that we already haven't invaded Madagascar. But yeah. So it's been a good few turns then. So we can assume it's been about, what, 26 turns? If my maths isn't shit, which it probably is, which it actually is. So 26 turns. I'm thinking he's probably on this axis over here then. In my opinion, it's kind of an all or nothing case. I don't think he's like middling out here somewhere. He's either at Pearl Harbor or he's going to be down here at New Zealand. I think that's about right. I mean, maybe he could have taken a shortcut down here, but I significantly doubt that. I think we would have picked him up. And even then, I don't know if he could have actually made that in that time, just in a direct route. But, well, this is it. I think it's either Pearl Harbor or it's New Zealand. It's definitely one or the other. I don't see him being anywhere else, really. Yeah, what do you guys reckon? So he's had 26 days to travel from his last position, southeast of Midway, indeed. But yeah, we can ponder on that one more in the future. He'll eventually reveal himself, I imagine. At some point it'll happen. Honestly, New Zealand is a much better position for him. It's like his own version of truck closer to the front lines and able... Yeah, that's actually a quite good estimate. I mean, he does have a better position here in the South Pacific due to the fact that he has, like, New Zealand, he has Fiji, he has... I mean, Fiji isn't exactly fantastic, but at least it's sort of a fairly built-up base to a degree. He doesn't obviously doesn't have fuel there, but it's not bad, it's not bad. Pago, that's a pretty good one as well, but it has like a series of islands, which I'm quite jealous of. I think we do have an advantage in terms of naval search. I think we do have more H6K4s than he does have, like, the PBYs. He's been kind of reckless with the PBYs. There's lost quite a few to, like, circumstances where he really shouldn't have been looking for that, but I suppose this is it. It's hard. If they break down, they break down. Obviously, if it had been the reverse and he had been invading my islands, then we probably would have lost some H6K4s. But yeah, I think we do have an advantage in naval search, which I really do want to push more and more, which is why what we're doing here then is we are moving the Imperial Japanese Army assets out of the South Pacific, really. At least these assets are going to be heading back to probably Malaya, maybe China, one or the other, really just to go reform their divisions and have the artillery move to where it needs to be, have the tanks move to where they need to be. I'm going to leave the Navy, the IJ, sort of the IGN to hold the area down here. Not that it needs much in the way of holding. In all honesty, if he wants to invade New Caledonia, that'd be fucking happy times. That'd be like springtime in Japan there, really. Springtime in Nihon. That's a good one in regards to the... No, there's no garrison requirement, which is good news. I've got 2 units of Naval Guard over here, but I'm going to be looking towards actually having them reformed. But I'm going to have them just rest here for the time being. Yeah, springtime for Tojo and Nippon. I like that. Yeah. So I do have these guys that turn around to head back to Luganville. Ah, well that's the question. That is the question. I had a comment the other day saying when it gets to late game, the cherry blossoms will become like a dirty joke, and I'm like, I have no idea. I went right over my head. Oh dear. Winter for American and Britain, indeed. But yes, we're heading back to Luganville, which is... It's not something I really want to do, but it does make sense. I didn't expect Noumea to have fallen, to be honest. But what we're going to do is drop off some supplies over here at Luganville, keep Luganville topped up as much as possible, due to the fact that we are expanding there, using sorties, etc. But what I'm going to do then is actually pick up the JNAF force there, the 36th, and that's going to be moved over here to Comac. I'd like to get a Koi into Noumea, or that force into Noumea. But I plan to use Comac more than I plan to use Noumea. Noumea is probably going to be a naval search base, at least for the foreseeable future here. However, he had to go back to Pearl Harbor, replace sorters and fuel. With the rate of advance of 8 hexes per day, it's probably about 200 hexes or so to get there. He could just barely be at Auckland right now. Well, this is it, potentially so. I mean, we are seeing ships out here, and we are seeing more activity down here at Wellington, so it might be that he's... I don't know, he might be choosing a different route. Hard to say. Yeah, but I'm getting excited about this. I tell you what, guys, the campaign's just getting better and better, isn't it? That's what I'm loving here. Okay, so we do have the I-171 moving into position here. Now, she doesn't have a float plane, which... The thing is, she does have a little bit of damage, so she might be more easily spotted, which ain't exactly great. I think I'm going to cover... maybe more so between, like, Auckland and New Zealand. Sorry, Auckland and, like, Norfolk, maybe, this sort of area. I'm going to have to figure out his shipping lanes, but it looks like he might be moving up like this. So I'm going to try to look towards that area there. Obviously, we'll sort it out and plan it properly once we do get down there. We do have additional submarines. We do have 2 float plane armed submarines over here, but we have 3 in total. There's a 4th one over here, actually. Now, you were headed down that way. I'm not going to lie. I really... I'm gonna heavily patrol New Zealand. I mean, with what Infinite said there, it does feel right. I think the thing is, I've got a decent amount of naval search over here, and we've not seen really any signs as far as we can tell. Not to say that there aren't. He could be over here at Johnston or Pearl. I don't know. See, the thing is, knowing THG, I feel like he's gonna feel compelled to attack. So I'm going to put it down to about a 40% he's still at Pearl Harbor. Maybe a 6% chance he's down here for South somewhere, but he's probably heading for New Zealand. If he's in New Zealand, he poses a slight threat. I mean, this is it. He can raid, but the thing is, raiding doesn't really matter. He's going to be looking for actual targets, because if he's just hitting bases, then you know what I mean? It's like, it's damage I can rebuild from. I'd rather not lose ships, that's the thing, really. He's aggressive, so I'm highly sure he's ordered. Well, yeah, potentially so. Which is why, I mean, this is it. I've been getting the willies down here in the south, actually. But I don't know. Like, taking Noumea is obviously a good thing, but it's also a bad thing in a way because it was something of a beacon drawing him towards New Caledonia. Which sounds like a bad thing, but in a lot of ways it could have been potentially able to draw him into a circumstance that we could have taken advantage of. He's aggressive with his light cruisers, not with his carriers. He's been a pussy regarding his carriers. I mean, this is it. It was a big surprise when we saw the Hermes run away. Well, the entire force run away with the Hermes, which was really quite surprising. Oh yeah. That made me laugh, man. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here then... so we did get the other destroyer here, which is quite good. Well, I mean, this is it, but I expected him to actually advance with the cruisers. He's advanced against carriers beforehand, or at least into areas with carriers potentially nearby without really much in the way of regard. It would have been a hell of a battle. It would have been a hell of a battle. That's for damn sure. I don't like not being able to dock here. That's my problem with this area. So this is worth it a lot, and you know, I think we are going to get out of here. It's either to go to Luganville or to go back. But I'm going to have it. It's going to head back. It's going to head to truck. I can get other tankers to do this job. I'm not. No, we're not going to risk it. We can get the hell out of here. But I am going to head in a non-linear fashion as such. Just a little bit off a beaten path there. Hermes is not the issue. He's handling the midway, and the marshal's raids were more the issues. Well, yeah, it was strange. I mean, the Tarawa raid was a good example of how to use carriers. Get in there when you know the resistance isn't there to oppose you, cause damage, and just relocate, find another target. But at midway, I mean, it did cause some casualties, but it well, I mean, this is it. It's like I suppose in my opinion, it's one of these of where, as a US player, he could ultimately just stay at Pearl Harbor, and he's pretty much safe, you know? He pretty much is safe. Like, I can't go near Pearl Harbor. We could attempt it, but it's not going to be like... it's not going to be a surprise strike, I can tell you that. He'd know we'd be coming, and we would... Yeah, that'd be bad news. It would be bad news. I think Midway was more just a return and keep more SB. Yeah, probably is. Probably is. We'll see. I mean, it'd be nice to actually engage and destroy the British carriers if we can. That would be quite good. We'll see about that. Okay, we've got our assets moving out around here. Can you dock while you're there? You are docked, which is good news. And I do feel fairly confident about our naval search abilities. It is nice to have that. I do feel a little bit like I do want to have something set up at Noumea really as quickly as possible. That would be good. Like, these H6K4s could well, they could transport troops, but I don't think it's worthwhile doing. I don't want to burn them out doing something like that. There's other assets that can do that significantly better than they can. Can you show the Zuikaku free pilot? Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, sure. What is it you wanted to make here? No, one of them has... Oh, right, okay. Right, I see. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those, isn't it? I think, while we actually are here, to be honest, I'm going to send these pilots to actually train. Is it worth training them? Probably. We'll be able to burn fatigue off, and they're not doing anything right now, so I might as well have them train. In fact, while they are here, I think I'm going to put VKs into, like, take them from readiness status, actually. But we'll set them to train here, naval attack. It might be worthwhile trying the pilots in naval attack, actually try and build up that defensive skill. I think you can build a defensive skill from that training. Right, naval attack. I'm gonna have to double check with the pilots on the ground as well. Yeah. I think it's naval attack I want to train with the pilots, the fighters, because I think it does train their defense, which is good. Well, we do have, I mean, if we take a look at this, we do have, so we've got H6K4s over here at Noumea, we've got H6K4s over there at Tenno, we've got H6K4s at Funafuti, we've got H6K4s at Luganville, we've got aircraft over at Rabal, we've got aircraft over here at Truck as well. Train advances experience, primary skill and defense based upon the mission and altitude selected, okay. Okay, so 100-foot strafing increases defense fastest. That's good then. We'll go with that then. Yeah. Well, we're trying to get them on the map to train. That's why we need more aircraft, really. Infinite will be moaning about that one. He'll be like, yeah, that's what I told that idiot. Oh, dear. Yeah, but we are getting that one going as really quickly as we can, really. Right, so we're going with about 100 feet then. It's quite nice. Build up our defense. Defense is really quite important there. Right, we're going to land. These guys can continue to train here. I'm just going to have these zeros go for the defensive training. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take a look at that shortly. How many can I have in here? Only 18. Got a fair amount of fatigue on them, haven't they? Well, the aircraft themselves, that is. Right, naval attack. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we do have quite a decent number of checks over here at the moment. These guys need to be moved out as well shortly. But yeah, we'll go take a look at Tokyo. Like, this is what this is Infinite's project at the moment. So this is Infinite's doing. So yeah, but there's a lot. There's a good few here. There's a lot of aircraft. We will be having them parceled out in the future, but these are mostly for the training at the moment. What did you do with the possible carrier conversion so far? We've got a seaplane carrier in... Well, sorry, seaplane cruiser in Tokyo at the moment. We have a seaplane cruisers are with the other MKBs, well, MKB and KB. I'm going to have them converted soon. Trying to find if this is from One Pacific or One Pacific Admirals Edition, but it used to be down at CV in bases flew fewer. Fewer. Yeah, I think I've seen that one in the manual actually. Fewer. Oh, I love it when you make words up. Okay. Yeah, so I want to get these units out to, well, I want to get engineers out to Noumea. I do have some engineer companies actually on the way from the Baldwar. Like, that's kind of 2 engineer companies. I'm going to have maybe even 1 or 2 head to the south. Would be very nice, actually. What do you guys reckon? Right home. I dropped to number 3. Sorry, I was just looking at the manual. I shared something. Right, so let's take a look over here then. So it's good that we've landed here. That's excellent. But we're gonna get them all ready to get moving again. I don't need them here. So the sooner we get them out, the better. There's actually some supply here. I'll have that loaded. Right, there we go. And develop Buna for the Port Moresby assault. Well, what we're doing here then is we are moving the 56th Division overland. It's going to take a long-ass time for us to get that to Port Moresby, but it is worthwhile because it just removes all the worries to a good degree. Like, we are burning supplies at a inefficient rate, which is not great, but I'd rather spend supplies than spend ships there, really. It's one of those of, like, potentially we could have landed there with the actual amphibious assets that we did have, but it's one of those. I don't know if Moresby's mined. It probably might be. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It could have been mined in the time in between the actual start of the game and now. He might have warships there that we weren't aware of. Obviously, then we're in range of Australian, well, potentially within range of Australian air bases. Obviously, Port Moresby's an air base itself. So it's one of those of, like, I'm happy with the choice we made. If you contest Port Moresby from the air, isn't Rabaul too far? Oh no, Rabaul's really quite close. Like, if we take a look, so Moresby to Rabaul's at 11 hexes, like, which seems like a long way, but we do have that range. Yeah, 20 or 46, which ain't bad. And it's not that far, is it really? So we don't have that far to go. It's just going to be this hex that's going to take a while. It is going to take a while. It's going to take a good few turns. Had it been clear terrain, it would have been significantly better, but it is what it is. But yeah, the good news is I do have an aviation tender over here in Salamua. Yeah, the Sanuki Maru. So she's in Salamua at the moment. So the good news is, if I wanted to, I can actually put some fighters down here. At the moment, I don't need to, as far as I'm concerned. But we haven't seen anything worth yet. Hey, you mentioned wanted to mine Kandari. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I do need to take a look at that. I've got some... I don't know, let's see. Right, mine laying. Have I got an actual mine layer, per se? I was looking for a mine laying cruiser, but... we have the CMCs. Now, they do have mines. These are what I've been trying to get mined in here. I was trying to use one at a time. For some reason they want to drop mines. Is it potentially... is it the class of ship here that's wrong? Do I just leave them like that? It's not often that I've used mine, to be fair. But while I wait the answer on that one, I'm going to head back here, get these guys loaded up. The good news, the really good news, is that we did find 5,000 tons of supply over here at Ley, which is really, really very nice. That's going to give us a nod. And this is it. He's moved out of the area, but it doesn't look... I don't know. We definitely didn't bring 5k supplies with us, so we actually have confiscated quite a decent amount of supplies there from the Allies. The good news about that is I can actually have those supplies shipped over to Boona if necessary, or they can move across the actual roads, or what is passive for roads. Probably more efficient to move it via ship, if needs be. But that's good news. I mean, that's supplies that's going to help us just keep the 56 in action. What is left at Port Moresby at best guess? Well, supposedly, reconnaissance is sighting 2 units in position here. I think we did see more in the past, so I don't know if it is 2 units, I don't know if it's more than 2 units, but supposedly 2 units is what we're seeing here at the moment. We do have float planes in position that are going to be running continuous reconnaissance over the base, so we'll keep building up our detection level as we go through the days, really, which is quite good. So by the time we do actually make it to Port Moresby, we will have a fairly decent idea of what is actually going on at Port Moresby. We'll see about that. We've got a good few submarines outside Port Moresby as well. Good few there. I think I'm going to have... Well, yeah, okay, well, never mind. That's kind of what I wanted, but I'm going to reverse that, actually. Start this way. I'm just trying to really impose something of a blockade over Moresby. Welcome back there, pirate. The reason being I don't want to have anything come in here. We did see some ships actually leave and get out of here, so that wasn't very good. Right, you're in low on fuel. I'm going to have you head back to Rabaul. Right, it's got allied subs there. The air fleet headquarters is moving into Gasmarta. Gasmarta is going to allow us with the air fleet there to use all these bases with bombers with torpedoes, which is good news. Which I'm looking forward to. Okay, we're going to get these guys back on board. All aboard. I mean, I'm using a destroyer escort here. I don't think I really need to, but it's probably worthwhile due to the fact that there are submarines in the area. So we'll verify that load and get them on board. So what I'll do is I'll take... Well, I can't take space due to the fact that it's inland, which is a bit of a pain. You're just loading supplies here at Bandang. It's a shite load of supplies. Way too many supplies, to be honest. Which is irritating. Support. SLF. Yeah, that's fine. Good, right, Heather Warwick. Alright, cheers. I'll take a look at that in just a sec. So our home base to Rabaul. Right, so they're going to go and take that. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in just a sec. Right, okay, yeah. So, it looks about right what I've got then. I don't know, maybe I had something wrong. We'll take a look. It might have been the actual... Right, okay, so... Home ports Kandari, they're set to lay mines. Retirement allowed is what you've got set there, so I'll have retirement allowed. Set destination Kandari. Missions mine laying. We have mines, that's good then. But it would be very good to actually get some mines down. We get some mines down now, then when that one's empty, I'll have potentially the other one lay another minefield. So we'll have 2 separate minefields. But ideally that'll be enough to just drive out the enemy submarines from the area then. We don't have an actual ACM there, which is a shame. As far as I'm aware, I don't think we have an ACM. Yeah, I've got the CMC. I've got some out here at Saipan, so what I'll do is I'll get 1 or 2 from Saipan, actually. We do have a lovely boy over here as well. 15 mines ain't bad. Oh, these are cruiser mine layers, like proper cruiser mine layers. But they're too big. I don't need them. We'll take this force. I might actually take the other ACM. Yeah, and I'll take you too. Small minefields are really quite good. Have you set for Kendari? Be very nice to get some mines in there. I'm gonna have you replaced from the port before you do set out, actually. Okay, fair enough. Right, you're still loading troops here at the moment. Right, get them loaded. Yeah, I'm thinking one for Kendari, but I'm going to have some spread out elsewhere. Alright, I'm just going to grab these guys. Shouldn't take too long to load them aboard. I'd like to have some supply. So get them moving there. Right, those coins are moving out. Right, these tankers are moving in here. Which is excellent, dude. So what I'm going to do is actually have them refuel at Baldoir. Speaking of that, we have no fuel. Well, actually, we don't need to. The thing is, do I put that fuel in Kendari? Or do I put it elsewhere? How you doing there, Spellfire? Weren't the mine tenders to stop the decay? Wow. The ones that we do have in Kendari, yes and no. I was hoping that they, well, these mine layers over here, I think they're coastal mine layers or something of that nature. I forget what CMC actually stands for. But we'll get some additional mine layers in here. It doesn't particularly matter that much. It would be nice to have them to cover the additional bases if I need them. Yeah. I would like to get some fuel down there. And I think Kendari is a good position due to the fact that it is sheltered. Once we have all this secured, it is sheltered. I could potentially use, like, Manadao. Or even, like, other bases, Coastal Mine Layer also. How you doing there, Leafs Eater? I just bought the game and it's overwhelming, but it's so much fun. Yeah, it definitely is, my dude, definitely is. I mean, the best way to play the game is to play by email. You definitely learn a lot there. I could say that for goddamn certain. You learn the most from playing against a human opponent. Yeah. That's good to know there, Mark. Right, well, I'm going to have it initially set for Kendari. It's going to take some time to get down there to Kendari anyway. These are all low-value tankers, which is good news, but we might have a little bit of fuel spread out. Not too terribly much. But in fact, what I'm going to do is take one of these guys. No, actually, never mind. I can take the high-value tanker from over here, actually. So, tanker. Take the big boy. Yeah, she's worth 19 victory points. We don't want her going under. These are all 14 knots. In fact, I'm going to take the torpedo boat, Hyodori. The reason being, I can use her then to pick up some troops from Baldoir and have her actually go ahead. And, yeah, just do some fast transports around here, take some different island bases quite quick. Like, these bases would be nice to take as well. Now, what I'm going to do here, then, let's take a look. Let's see. Well, you're definitely not a tanker. But I can make use of these actual these cruisers for fast transport, actually. Potentially something worth bearing in mind, then. I can actually, you know what? It might be worthwhile actually having them do that. What I could do here then is actually take the 82nd Naval Guard and have it move to this position over here. The reason why I do that is because I could then take care of that Dutch unit. By capturing the bases in the area, prevent it from having anywhere to retreat to. Which would be quite good. So I think I'll have them begin to load up the 82nd. There's something to be said about having the 23rd Air Flotilla moved out there. And we could do that. What do you guys think then? Do we go ahead and take the 23rd Air Flotilla over to Makassar by fast transport with the light cruisers? It could be done. It could be done. They can carry a decent amount each. I think they can carry about 400 troops each. So we definitely have the room to do it. We could have them spread across the actual cruisers. We do have a small... We could have a few destroyers with them to escort them. It's not a long trip, which is good news. What do you guys reckon? Move the 4th Air Division to Kopang first. Yeah, that's actually... No, I like that. I do like that. That would be nice. Cargo is 1,000. What do I have that could go alongside? We do have the APDs. Which are actually really handy right now. Dadakazi. That should be just about enough there. That's a lot of light cruisers. Wow. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 light cruisers there. I think that would be enough to get it moved out. Yes, it is as well. So we'll have them move the 5th Air Division. I'm not going to have them move supplies. The reason being we already have supplies there at Kopang. Yeah, this port is definitely crowded. I'm going to get a lot of the ships moving out this turn, actually. At least they're spread out across 12 ships, which is very good news. So it's unlikely they will lose everything. So we'll have them head to Kopang when they're ready. It would be nice to actually have the light cruisers there available as well. Because what I could potentially do is have the light cruisers head out with the NKB, potentially as well, to beef them up. So that's worthwhile. But yeah, the light cruisers really are just like big. They're like just slightly larger APDs. Oh dear, in a crazy kind of way. Yeah, these guys are quite valuable. Alright, what I'm going to do here then. So we'll disband these. If they're not doing anything, just get them disbanded. Right. Disband them as well. Well, that's not a bad idea, actually. The Kishino is already at Kopang, which is good. Yeah. I think it'd be worth sending the Mayoko and Nachi as well, actually. We're going to have these two destroyers actually stand down in port. You're just unloading here at the moment. But you are docked, so you're alright. Right. Yeah. I mean, the torpedoes are very good. I mean, the thing is, it's like they're in a strange position. I mean, they're obviously intended to be destroyer leaders, aren't they? You can send the AO with every sub-chaser and PB. Right. I was trying to decide what I want to do with this guy here, really. A few troops aboard there. Well, what I'm going to do then is have it unload the troops here for the time being. The reason being, I don't have an idea of where I want it to go as of yet. Right. We do have a lot of potential supplies here as well, so I'm going to have these disband here too. Right, just disband Yudachi. Right, patrol boats. We do have another 2 destroyers here as well, so just disband them for the time being. Okay. We do have a little bit of fuel here, which is nice. So, undock. What I'll do is send the sub-chasers with it then. Seems like a fair escort. Change it, yeah. Oh, right, I see. Ah, right, I see. We'll send the 14 knot PBs too. Bring the heavy cruisers. Now, there is a risk, obviously, because this will be going potentially first. Hmm. I think that should be alright. I was a little bit worried there about surface units in the area, but I don't think it's likely. We're going to be about here anyway, so it's not like we're going to be... I mean, I might head straight out then this way, but... If we make it, well, we'll just move. Move as quickly as possible, really. What I'll do is have these guys patrol that route. Good news is I can rearm everything once it arrives at Kopang, which is good. These guys are headed to Makassar as well, so that's gonna... yeah. I'd have got some on the way too. Haji. These guys unloading. I'm really loving the fact that we do have these APDs. Have them dock up while they are here. Time it is allowed. Then head back to Kendari. See, I'd like to get some SLF over here, or some other units, so I can take these bases over here and cut them off, because I could do that quite quickly. Cut those units off, and then once we did defeat them, they would have nowhere to go, and so they'd basically surrender. Which is significantly better than having to fight them every inch of the way. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, they're both running naval. But that's not a bad idea at all. We'd have the 5th over here. Fifth Air Division, so that's 4 command radius. So we'd be looking at Kopang here. These bases will be covered. Doesn't look like 4 hexes there, does it? But each of these bases over here could be used potentially. If they indeed even have anything worthwhile. Still have that infinite. Have a good one, my friend. Yeah, ideally. But yeah, it gives us access to these bases on the island more. Shockingly, that one's out of range, but shows you how big the island is. Which is good. Gives us a few bases there to work with, but most importantly, gives us something here so I can actually have... And like, Kopang's a pretty big base. It would definitely allow us to shut down the Timor Sea, shut down Darwin, which would be really quite good there. And if we take a look at Darwin, he's got a level 3 airbase, a fair airbase. But yeah, this is it. I don't think he has fighters with the ranged challenges over here at Kopang, whilst we do have fighters with the ranged challenge over here at Darwin. So we could potentially hit the airfield if needs be. But we could make life extremely difficult for him over there. Darwin's worth 90. I'd like to take Darwin in the future, but we'll get there when we get there. You're going to need to refuel shortly. What about Ambon? Enough troops there, or was it landing there just to reduce the supply long term? Well, the landing was to get our forces on, well, ashore really, to get them ashore. At the moment he's consistently bombarding us, which is not great. He's using supply, but he's using his own supply as well. What we're doing over here at the moment is we do have this force, which I'm going to actually put as to the surface combat. I do need some more fuel over here. We do have a little bit of fuel here, which is nice. Just a tiny amount. Torpedo boats here as well. Oh, sweet. Some of these guys actually do have depth charges. What I'm going to do here then, so quickly set up these guys here. Now replenish Task Force C. Yeah, they've had their fuel reduced. So that's good. So they're not going anywhere for the time being, but they've had their fuel increased, greatly increased, which is good. Very good. So what we're going to do here, then. So they're on 50-50. So float planes. Just making sure that they're all running naval search. Sure they are. How you doing there, Medical Gus? Good to have you, my man. In order to win as Japan, do you actually have to invade the States? I mean, you can I mean, you can, you could potentially gain a lot of points doing that, but my god, it would be practically impossible. The US forces would drive us off pretty quickly. I mean, maybe, there's AARs where people do set all their forces that would be heading towards the Philippines and etc. To basically hit and invade Hawaii. Hawaii can be taken. It is hard, it can be opposed and it can be defeated, but it can be done. But if we landed on US soil, I believe it does activate, like, additional divisions. I think it gets an armor division as well. He gets, like, an armor division, like, and some infantry divisions. So he gets additional forces activated, which are pretty rough. As far as I'm aware. Below the Golden Gate and onwards to the Rockies. Invade Panama. I mean, this is it. Panama, wow. I have no idea about Panama. I can imagine there's a significant garrison there as there was historically. Okay. So they're going to stay put for the time being. These guys are resting training here for the time being as well. I need to figure out where we're going to have them invade next, actually. I say I have one in the east and one in the west, but not familiar with the wind conditions on this one. As Japan, you need to have, like, so many points in 1942 for also victory, and then so on, so forth. Like, we're not there yet. I think it'd be a minor victory for the Allies, but I don't know if it shows me minor victory for me or for the enemy. I'm not entirely sure. Or if you can find a way to cripple the canal. I mean, this is it. No idea. I might see if there's, like, some AARs or ask on the forum in regards to that. Okay, these guys are moving out. These guys landed over here at Tamina. So they're currently unloading, which is good news. And you're in action. Which is fine. So it gives me some aviation support. I might have, like, let's see. We do have an airfield here. I might have, like, a float plane set up over here or something. So I've got 20 aviation support. Which ain't bad, actually. For 2 days until they're ready. Well, what I'm going to do then is actually have that move to Namla. Keep going on that screen. There we go. Okay, it's a little bit too fast, so I'm going to have to up the range. I don't know if they can actually make it to Namla. They might have to go to Baldwar first. Yeah, they're going to have to go to Baldwar first. If they can make it to Baldwar. Oh no. See, this would be a good contender for the next Care for the Free Squadron, but what I'm going to do is actually have them move over to Kendari if I can. It's not making it easy on me, is it? They could transfer to Namla and then to Kendari. Yeah, I'm going to have them transfer over to Kendari then next turn. The reason being I'd like to be able to actually split them up. The reason then is at least I can have the Ki-43s and 1Cs and 1Bs actually used for like sweeping bases, etc., stuff of that nature, and just have the Ki-27s here just to like run combat air patrol in the area, which is worthwhile. They're pretty decent to that sort of crap. Okay, you're unloading the base force, which is good. These guys moving out. Yep, you're moving over there to take fuel to Babaldoir, which is excellent. You're heading back down. Back there. You're a little bit shy on fuel. Might be worthwhile heading to Saipan to refuel first, actually, or potentially to Okinawa. Have them head for Saipan. We're not going to make it immediately to Saipan, but I'm going to have them refuel at Saipan. Yeah, they should be able to make it. Share that out. So they'll head to Saipan to refuel. You're not really doing much for me here at the moment, so I'll just have you disbanding there. I have no idea why that was on a task on a waypoint. Right. So we do have additional destroyers in over this way. These oilers are going to be moving out. But what I'm going to do is we do have these guys here. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this engine damage to be repaired. And then what we'll do is we'll take Shoho south. So Shoho can move south with some destroyers, 2 oilers, which is good. Get her moving down that way. Yeah, these guys are on shipyard. So we might just wait until they're ready, but I might have additional ships I can move south as well by that point. There's no real rush to get the Shoho south. So I don't mind waiting, man. Yes, we need the AKs. I'm going to have to check when they'll be ready. But we do have a lot of assets that we do need to move south, so it would be nice to have a decent escort for all of it, really. So just replying to the message here, guys. Not be 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's going to be the game plan over here. Now, let's see. I'd like to move the 27th JNAF. I'm going to have that moved over here to Tonohara. It would be nice to have a unit over there actually able to support float planes. Which would be nice. Obviously, it'd help us out over here with the naval search. And just so happens we have this guy. So once he's done unloading over here, we can get that moving out, which would be excellent. Get these patrols set up. Right, they're patrolling. I'm going to patrol this area here because we aren't paying as much attention to this area as I'd like. We're going to have additional patrols out here, which is good news. There we go. Yeah, they're making it down here, good. It looks like it's really patrolling this area, but there will be a time when it patrols here, so I'd like to have more to patrol just the entire route, really. The more patrol boats we can flood into the area, the better there, really. Now, China. So, we are not going to be jumping yet. It does look good, but we're not going to be jumping as of yet. The reason being, we are just trying to rebuild. We did gain back 100 to 200 AV from the last turn's rest. We're just going to continue to rest until we gain back about 7,000. Really gain back our initial striking power as much as possible, as close as possible. We do have another division on the way here to make that more feasible as well, which is good news. I'm probably going to have that division, that brigade actually march down this way, or potentially some other forces march down this way. But we are gearing up. I'm really tempted. See, the thing is, the 38th Division is quite literally at a crossroads right now. I could have the 38th Division actually turn down this way towards Kukong and then head back up towards Hengyang. I'd like to do that, but I think we do need to get it to Canton. It is a unrestricted division. I don't have many of those. I think it'd be more welcome out here, as ultimately I could probably find more uses for it. Like, I do have a good number of divisions. It would be great to have more divisions, but I think it is worthwhile having it move to Canton rather than the minutia of China. Right, these guys are still loading fuel. They'll be ready to move out shortly. Gonna get more fuel down to the south. So, these guys are going to be landing at Sinkawang. I think tomorrow actually is when we'll land. I may just have... Yeah, they're going to merge here and land. So they'll land tomorrow. Two patrol boats moving out that way. A lot of patrol boats out here. Right, DMS is over here. Let's have them dock up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here... I'm going to sweep... We're going to sweep Singapore. With two divisions, sorry, two squadrons, two parts of it. So, you're sweeping... I'm going to have you sweep as well, but at 25,000 feet. In fact, we'll have them both sweep at 27,000 feet. The reason being is, we did see those aircraft. So I want to make sure if they do come back, we can really give them a bloody good nose. Well, bloody nose, not bloody good nose. I'm not a plastic surgeon yet. Right. You can be the escorts for the naval bombers. Which I think are heading out about 8,000 feet, so I'll have them 8,000 feet. Drop tanks on, yep, there we go. We're going to continue the bombing. I cannot relent. We're going to be having our bombing raid against Rangoon next time, which is going to be great. Yep. Only 30% of the squadron's going out there. I could potentially have less, but at least those are manageable numbers. These guys, one of them sweeping, one of them's escorting. Well, they've only about 20% combat patrol. But I think maybe just a 10% combat patrol. Just enough just to have something there. What I could potentially do is actually have the A5M4s take over that role there, to be honest. We had a little bit lacking on aviation support. I would like to have more moved out this way. But it's not too bad. We'll get more there in the future. Once this comes online properly, I'll be able to use it significantly more effectively in the area. Yeah, you're running escort of Rangoon, running in about 16,000 feet. So ideally we're going to try and hit his airfield over here, but it's one of these things. We did have the bombs go out accidentally, and I think he kind of guessed that a raid was on the way, unfortunately. I was hoping that he would have still had his combat air patrol up, but he did not. Looks like he rested them that turn, which sucks. But yeah, he's going to be in for a shock. But it is going to be a big fight. We're probably going to take some losses. They are moving out of range, but it is going to be potentially worthwhile. If I can get the bombing of Rangoon up and into action, then the thing is, he's going to find it very difficult to oppose me. So we need to get that going. I need to hit whatever's on the ground. It probably is B-17s on the ground. Right. I still can't remember what I really had you in mind for over here. I suppose it would be all these bases over here, to be honest. So I'm going to get a couple of them moving. Get them ready. Could move them to Malaya. Or really, wherever we want them to. The heavy cruisers are here. So they've refueled, they're going to head out. So they're on their way to bombard the Wenkau, but that's going to take some time. So we're going to have our forces hit the ground, which we are. Going in there, 3,000 feet. Good. Right. What I'm going to do then is move these L4s. Sorry, L3s. Get them over here to Luchao. There we go. So we do have some over here still. They're going to be repairing. Yeah, looks like all of them are ready tomorrow, which is excellent news. But I still have some more out this way. Yeah, quite a few more. They're going to move out to Pescadores, and then they're going to turn after into China. Right. What I'm going to do is have you on reconnaissance. Good news is I can divide this unit. Right, we're going to run reconnaissance over potentially likely bases in the area. There's... I think we'll just run it in the area then, try and figure out where it might be. So we know he has aircraft. We just need to figure out where they're coming from. I think some of them are coming from Palembang, but I think other bases are potentially likely as well. So we'll figure this one out. No air capacity there. I'm going to run reconnaissance over these islands here. I've never done it before, so I think it might be worthwhile just doing it just to see if there is anything there. And over that one there. Okay. Well, I don't need reconnaissance over Danning. Range is 8. I think I'm going to run reconnaissance over Changtai. It's the only other base I'm not running reconnaissance over at the moment. It's a hell of a way to go. I should have had it this way around, but I'm a little bit lazy at the moment. Right, these Furisas then, Turisas. I want to have the base at Nanning secured. I think what I'm going to do then is potentially have these Kai... Well, I forget, what, 59s? Kai-59s, yeah. I think what I'm going to potentially do then is have a aviation unit transported to Langson via rail, which we do have at the moment, which is going to Langson, yeah, there we go. And then what we'll do is we'll move those Kai-51s over there to Langson. They can then transport the unit to Nanning quickly via air transport. The rest I can't make it, just march over there. Though actually, it is like jungle there just outside Langsong. There's some clear, but it would take a while. So I'd rather fly them in. Right, so we're going to go for an attack next turn. We do have a decent amount of supplies there. Should have enough there. These guys are all stood down and resting. Or defend. Which is good. Looks like you've only just arrived, so just put in combat. Right, we do have another division that will be arriving this turn too. China Expeditionary Army is moving out to Wuchang, which is good news. There is a unit here. There's a unit here as well. Right, now originally I was going to keep it here. I don't think it's moving, so I'm going to keep it in position here for the time being. The reason being, at least I do have something there to present for it. But what I'm going to do here then, have you move about there. I'm going to try to cover the rail line to a degree. Right, I do have an infantry brigade over here. Right, the other elements are at Changchao. I don't think I can I build it up? Maybe. I guess we're just going to combat. Well, rest. Okay, you can move further down there. We'll cover the rail line with some troops then. I'll keep them on the rails so I can figure out where I really want them. Right, you're taking that down there. Waiting for that to arrive at Shang. Oh no, it's heading back up. That's fantastic. Yeah, so they're heading there to Wuchang, where they're going to unload supplies. So they're going to unload a good few thousand tons of supply. Yeah, they're going to unload 38,000 tons of supply at Wuchang, which is fantastic. So the good news is we'll have a pretty strong surplus of supply. So even if supply is moving elsewhere, at least because we're unloading it, we'll still keep the actual amount of supply there pretty high, which is going to be excellent. I think beyond that, I don't think there's a huge amount left to do here. Let me just check my own notes. I did make a list of what I was potentially going to do. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think we're looking good there. You need to repair. I'm waiting for the Yokosuka Third SLF to arrive at Kotobrü. As soon as they arrive at Kotobrü, I can get them moving out via aircraft, well, aircraft transport to Saigon, ideally. From Saigon, they're going to move all the way up here, potentially via rail to Langsong, and then we'll have it. But the good news is, we take a look over here then, so let's see. Second Raiden Regiment's going to be ready tomorrow. These are going to be ready tomorrow. So our transport aircraft are stood down at the moment, just resting, which is good. But we now have the ability to actually project paratroopers across the entirety of China, really, for the most part. Yeah, normal radius is 16. We do have 12 immediately ready to go. So, that's 14 hexes. God willing, if that was clear, we'd be able to hit that as well, but unfortunately it isn't. If it was, holy shit, that'd be amazing. Holy shit, that'd be like... that would be springtime in Germany there. But unfortunately it's not. But oh well. It is what it is. That be the way the cookie crumbles. You're moving. You're moving where you're moving. Right, don't move. Stay. Well, I mean, this is it. This is it. We might, if you can find a way to cripple. Yeah, as long as you're not invaded by the Soviets. I mean, we might potentially counter... Well, we might invade. Counter invade the Soviets, depending on how China goes. Like, if China goes well, it'd be great news. But we're gonna see how things go there. Okay. These guys heading back. But I'm glad. I'm glad to see Noumea fall. Things are going well here. No. The situation's not that bad. No, basically, if we're able to defeat China quite early in 1942, I am considering... I'd have to look up the AAR when it happened, but I would potentially consider... It would be the most extreme case. It would have to be a case of we have a unmitigated success in China. But I might look at potentially the Kwantung Army, the Chinese... the China Area Army, the China Expeditionary Army. Potentially we could invade the Soviet Union. We could invade Siberia, potentially. Which would be... whole bunches of fun. But that would be the most extreme scenario. Because it's like, if we stay with the actual garrison requirement, we do not activate them until 90... Well, they're not active until 45, so that's one of those things, isn't it? But it's one of those of, we either hit them early, or we don't hit them at all, really. Javan and Surabaya. Well, in regards to Javan and Surabaya, well, sort of Javan in general, I need to get additional support over here. So what I'm going to do is get the 5th Air Fleet down here, headquarters down that way. Then what I'll do is I'll actually move the 22nd Air Flotilla to, well, whichever flotilla it is. It's AC. Where is it? The 23rd, yeah. I'd look towards having the 23rd Air Flotilla moved over here to Makassar. But the good news is we do have a fair few Oscars over here at the moment. A good number of them, actually. I'm just waiting for them to actually just have enough supply at the base of Makassar for us to be able to be used in the drop tanks. Because, I mean, I think there was more fighters over here at Surabaya, but apparently there's only 17 here at the moment that we can see. But I'd like to sweep Surabaya, but I'd like to have bombers able to hit Surabaya's airfields as well, first and foremost. Indeed. Alright, you'll be ready in 2 days. Looking forward to it. Okay. So you're just loading supplies here. I'm going to cancel loading those supplies. And to be honest, I'm going to have these tanks moved to China. I think China might be where we could make use of them. I'm just thinking with how things are going in China, any additional armoured fighting vehicles would be really, really quite good. Thing is, it's like Sumatra could be usable, they could be usable in Java, but I'm not ready for Java yet. But if China goes well, then holy moly, we strike gold. At least in China, I could have them move quickly in the clear terrain and obviously make use of the rail lines. So I think I'll have them move to China for the time being. Get as much armor in China as I can. These guys are moving. We did most of the actual moves in the first stream, so I think we are effectively ready to go now. Don't think there's anything that's been really missed here. If anybody has any questions, I'll take some questions just before the end. Yeah, I mean, I can get tanks down there to Java. I don't need tanks per se. It would be nice. I just think it's one of these. I can have like tanks move down to China fairly sharpish. Well, I'd say they are needed in China. The reason being, like, the terrain here doesn't suit tanks, but this area really does. Like, we haven't broken through Changsha yet, so I do have some time to get tanks over here to Shanghai, to get them moved via rail down here to Changsha quickly as possible. I think they could be used in China. I think it's one of those where they could be potentially sat around here for a while until we get ready for Java. The thing is, I'd like to have Singapore. We'll see about that. Speaking of Singapore, we are marching 12 miles into the march there. It's going to be hell. Yeah, once Changsha falls and we make it across here to the clear terrain, because this is clear terrain here, I'm probably going to look at having the tanks sent back. It depends, really. It really does depend on the situation here, because it might be just up to the infantry, but it depends, really. Having some armor might be worthwhile, especially as the Chinese really don't have any answer to it. But then again, it comes down to, is it worthwhile? But then again, I could have all the unrestricted armor sent out of China. So that's kind of the thinking at the moment. I think that about covers it there. I think we're about good there. I'm trying to think of what we potentially name this now. I'll make a save here, just in case. But I think we are about done. I can't think of anything too much else. So this is obviously the only issue we're having, like, a couple days in between turns. Is like, sometimes, well, between streams, is like, I'll not always be on as hot on it, if you get what I mean. I think we've got everything there. So I'll just double save that. I think we'll name the turn to the Honoured Dead of Noumea, because it has been an honourable fight there. Then it rubs it in just ever so slightly. Get the Banzai in there, just like rib him a bit. Oh, god damn, the Japanese and their fantastic sayings. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So I'd like to say a big thank you here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for watching. I do hope you are enjoying the series so far. And if there's anything I've missed, do let me know about it. If there's anything you'd like to discuss, do let me know in the Discord. You can join the Chris Amphium Order by just messaging me and saying I would like to join the Japanese room. I imagine that you're already doing it, but only cross to Singapore with 4 divisions. Well... I do have the infantry regiments. Oh, I can't go back now. Well, I can always change it next turn. I do have the regiments on the way as well, but I think I'll consider that one. I might have them stay put in Johor Bahru there. But we do have time before that, ideally, so we'll see. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. If you do enjoy my content, please do consider becoming a XTRG supporter and becoming a patron. Makes a big difference, lots of awards available, and you get to influence the future channel. So until next time, thank you and goodbye. Tenno, Heika, Banzai. Till next time, goodbye for now.